Hello and welcome to this week's video. Today, I'm going to help you to live the life that you actually want to live. There are so many people living a life that they have been conditioned to live. Live a life that society has told them they want without actually going deep and questioning what it is that they want. Can you resonate with that? Because that is where I was for such a long time, and this is where I see most of my clients kind of they come to me because they realize that they are not living the life that they want, and that has resulted in certain experiences and circumstances that they want to change. So the first thing that you need to do in order to live the life that you actually want is to know who you are. Know who you are in your very core. And by that, I mean make your unconscious mind conscious, because who you show to the world is not really who you are. You are not your thoughts. You are not your identity. You are not your beliefs. You are so much more than that. And everything that you kind of consciously present to the world is conditioned until you begin to understand who you are beneath the surface. Your conscious mind is 5% of the actual vast magic that you are. And so until you start to look beneath the surface, you are not really going to have a true understanding of who you are. And people begin to look beneath the surface through meditation, psychedelics, shadow work, energy work, a wake-up call that has been sent to you from the universe. So many things can trigger you beginning to look beneath the surface. It can simply be a burning desire to live a different life. And this starts you asking the questions of what else is there? What else am I? Who am I in truth? You asking these questions and going on these experiences are going to help you understand who you are truly. You can only ever live the life that you want by knowing who you are in truth. Because until that, you're just living a life of conditioning. You're just living the life that your conditioned ego, your conscious kind of thinking mind, your identity is what wants to live based on what it's been told to believe, based on what it's been told, how it's been told how to act and show up in the world. Like, the prime example of this is the American dream, the 2.5 kids, white picket fence type life. And that, we've kind of been sold this idea of that's what we want. But now more than ever, we're seeing that's not actually the case. There are so many women who don't want children these days. There are, lots of couples don't actually want to get married. We don't all want to work the 9-to-5 corporate life. So many people are opting for self-employment and doing different types of work in their career that help them fulfill kind of a greater purpose. There is so much to the there is so much more than we've been made to believe is possible for us. And you get to go on the adventure of understanding who you are and what you actually want. And this is the first step to changing your life and living a life that you actually want to live. Now, if you're not living a life that you want to live, this is where you're going to experience burnout, stress, unfulfillment, wrong relationships that don't serve you, including friendships and romantic relationships, even the relationships with your family. You've been told your relationships with your family should be a certain way, but you find so much friction there. There's a reason for that. You can, by you understanding who you are and what you actually want, your relationships with your family will change as well. That life becomes more easy. And I don't mean easy like it's going to be handed to you on a plate. I mean, it flows. You can see where you're being given a lesson or you're being given a blessing. You become grateful for all of life's experiences, understanding that they're here for your higher purpose. But the more we kind of fight against that, the more friction we feel, we feel like we're fighting against the current, and this is where burnout comes in, stress, unfulfillment, etc., whatever it is you're experiencing. That is, and sometimes we actually have to get to this point. We actually have to get to a point sometimes where it's like, I can't take this anymore. I need to change. And this is what then, leads people into experiences like psychedelics or meditation, going on a Vipassana retreat when you've never meditated before. I would not recommend that. But, exploring the unconscious self on a deeper level, because there's a calling, there's something deep inside you that's saying, there's more. There's more to you, there's more to life. Let's go and find it. Like, there's an adventurer within us all that wants to know the truth. We're all on a path of coming home to ourselves, and that looks different for everybody. So if you really want to live the life that you want to live, the first step is get to know who you are and actually what you want. Like, what is your greater purpose? And I don't mean purpose like kind of who, like, there's a, like, what's your purpose for living, not just kind of for service or how much money you want to make and all of that. Like, what is your purpose for actually living, for waking up in the morning and going, yes, I am here. I'm exactly where I need to be. So whilst you are getting to know yourself, you begin to recognize that this is an inner game, and this is step 2. Like, it's an inner game, not an external game. Your external world is a reflection of your internal world, which is made up by your conditioning, your beliefs, your personality. Your personality creates your personal reality. Like, that is all reflecting your internal world. So it's an inner game. So if you want to change something on the outside, you have to actually change it on the inside first. You can't change it on the inside until you understand the unconscious self. And then you're going to be given an opportunity to make changes in alignment with who you are, why you're here, your purpose, your higher vision for life. You're going to be asked to make changes. So you'll be making those changes internally, and then you'll be given an opportunity to live that externally. So this is where the game comes into play. You'll be given an opportunity. So you say, this is the relationship that I want. I want somebody who's going to respect me as a woman, understand like the sacredness of my femininity. I want to call in my divine masculine counterpart. You can't do that unless you're living your match for that. So you have to make the changes internally to be able to attract the same externally, because you're always attracting who you are, not what you want. So who you're showing up as, not what you want. It's a frequency thing. So if you're not making the changes internally to reflect that externally, and you're not living that externally, and then the kind of guy that you've always gone for, who's always hurt you, who's a little bit narcissistic, they don't have your best interests at heart, they're probably aren't in their divine essence, they don't know who they are. They come along and say, do you want to go out? And if you say yes, you're going to learn a painful lesson, because you're being given an opportunity here to step up to the life that you actually want to live. So whatever you're saying yes to things from past you, you're gonna, what you're calling in isn't, it's not matching. So the universe is going to think that you actually want to stay the same. So if you're making the changes internally and you're being given an opportunity to take that change externally, no matter how comfortable or uncomfortable it feels, you have to say yes with what's aligned in your highest vision. And that's how your life starts to change. It's understanding that it's a 3D and a 5D game. Like, you're making the changes internally, you're seeing them externally, but it's a spiritual, energetic game as well as a practical reality game. Like, if you want to make changes in your life, making them on the outside simply is not going to cut it. It has to be an internal game, because if you're only making changes on the outside, you're making changes based on your past experiences, you're going to keep on attracting the same thing. And that leads me to, you have to stop settling. You have to live as if you're already living your highest vision. You have to be that person. You have to become her. And while ever you're settling for second best, while ever you're settling for your past, not saying that any of this is wrong or bad, because you had to be her to get where you are today. She had to be there in your life for you to become the magnificent woman that you are today, and you keep evolving, but you have to stop saying yes to what once served you. You have to start saying yes to the opportunities and possibilities that are going to serve you in becoming your fullest expression as a magnificent, beautiful, creative, sacred, feminine woman in your life, like in the future. So you have to become her today in order to see your life begin to reflect that. So stop settling for the past if you want to create a magical new future. And this is where it becomes a practice of devotion. So you have to begin to devote your life to something higher, and a higher vision in health, wealth, and love. Your highest vision for life, you as your highest, fullest expression, you have to devote your every action to this. It does not happen by you, like I say, settling. It doesn't happen by you saying, I'll start tomorrow. It doesn't happen by you burying your head in the sand when you know you need to make a change. You have to be devoted to your heart, to your soul, to your most aligned path. You have to be devoted to following your North Star. Because if you're not, it's not going to happen. You're going to keep on creating karma. The life of purpose that you want to live is going to become even more out of reach, or it's going to feel out of reach, even though it's not. It's just an internal shift away. But devoting yourself to your most aligned life is really, really, really where the magic and the change happens. So I hope this has helped you. If you're looking to step into 2025 with clarity and a roadmap to follow, guided by your North Star, I have a free workshop coming up on the 10th of December, 6 p.m. GMT. There will be a replay available if you're in a different time zone. But it's going to help you discover your North Star, that inner guiding light, so you can actually live the life that you want to live, starting with 2025. It's just around the corner, and I can't believe it. Another traditional year comes and goes, and here we are. So if you would like to start your year with clarity, purpose, in alignment, and fully empowered, then you can sign up in the description. It's going to be really, really magical, really, really beautiful, and an excellent way to end 2024. I would love to see you there. I would also love to know if you have any takeaways or insights, and you can drop them below. If you have any questions, I'll get back to you personally. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you next week.